The twin suns of Kepler. 442b cast long shadows across the crystalline plains as Melissa adjusted her bioscanner, her fingers trembling despite the reinforced gloves of her exosuit. 3 years of xenobiology research, and she'd never encountered anything like this. "Jack, are you seeing this?" she whispered into her comlink, watching the creature through the transparent aluminum observation barrier. "Copy that." Jack's voice crackled back from the research station 2 clicks north. "Vitals are off the charts. That thing's heart rate just spiked to 300 BPM. The creature, what the initial survey team had designated as Apex Predator Classification 7, stood nearly 4 meters tall on its hind legs. Its obsidian scales shimmered with bioluminescent patterns that pulsed in rhythm with its breathing. 6 eyes, arranged in 2 horizontal rows, tracked Melissa's every movement with unsettling intelligence. Each of its 4 arms ended in retractable claws that could slice through reinforced steel like tissue paper. The expedition had lost 2 drones to this species already, but this one was different. This one was young, perhaps only months old by their estimates, and it had been following Melissa for 3 days. "I'm going to try the vocalization sequence again," Melissa said, her hand hovering over the sonic emitter built into her suit's chest plate. "Negative." Jack's response was immediate. "Command protocols strictly forbid." "Jack, look at it. Really look at it." Through the camera feed streaming from Melissa's helmet, Jack watched as the young predator lowered itself onto all 6 limbs, its 4 arms and 2 powerful legs creating a spider-like posture. Its tail, thick as a tree trunk and ending in a spiked club, swayed gently from side to side. The bioluminescent patterns on its scales had shifted from the deep crimson of aggression to a soft amber hue. "It's mimicking submission," Melissa continued. "I've seen the same behavior in Earth canines, Martian sandwolves, even the domesticated thrax on Europa. This is play behavior, Jack." Jack ran his hand through his dark hair, staring at the holographic displays surrounding his workstation. The data contradicted everything they knew about AP7s. Adult specimens had decimated the colonies on Kepler, 442b's southern continent. These weren't just apex predators. They were perfectly evolved killing machines with pack intelligence and what some researchers suspected was proto-linguistic communication. "Your call," Jack finally said, "but I'm suiting up and heading your way. If this goes south, you'll say I told you so at my memorial service." "I know." Melissa deactivated the barrier with a thought command. The transparent wall dissolved into the ground with a pneumatic hiss. The young predator's head snapped up, all 6 eyes suddenly locked onto her. Its nostrils, slits in the center of its elongated snout, flared as it sampled her scent. Then it roared. The sound was apocalyptic. It rattled Melissa's bones even through the suit's audio dampeners. The sonic emitter on her chest registered the frequency, a complex harmonic structure that carried subsonic and ultrasonic components simultaneously. This wasn't just noise. This was communication, challenge, and possibly invitation. Every instinct in Melissa's body screamed at her to run. Every paper she'd published, every lecture she'd given about respecting the danger of xenofauna, told her to retreat behind the barrier. Instead, she filled her lungs with the recycled air of her suit and bellowed back. The sound that emerged from her sonic emitter was inhuman. Melissa had spent months analyzing AP7 vocalizations, mapping their frequency ranges, their harmonic overtones, their rhythmic patterns. She'd programmed her emitter with what she theorized was a juvenile greeting call, loud, bold, but with submissive undertones woven into the acoustic structure. The effect was immediate and startling. The young predator's eyes widened, all 6 of them. Its bioluminescent patterns flickered rapidly, cycling through amber, green, and finally settling on a bright cyan that Melissa had never seen documented. The creature's powerful legs seemed to give out beneath it, and it collapsed onto its side with a ground-shaking thud, but it wasn't injured or frightened. Its tail was wagging. The massive, spiked appendage swept back and forth across the crystalline ground, creating a rhythmic scraping sound. The predator's mouth, filled with 3 rows of serrated teeth designed to tear through the toughest hides, opened in what could only be described as a grin. A sound emerged from its throat, a purring rumble that Melissa felt in her chest. "Holy hell!" Jack's voice was barely a whisper in her ear. "Melissa, you You just established play behavior with an apex predator. Melissa couldn't speak. Tears streamed down her face inside her helmet as she watched the creature. This magnificent, terrifying, beautiful creature roll onto its back like an oversized puppy. Its forearms folded against its chest, and it made the purring sound again, this time interspersed with short, high-pitched chirps. "It's laughing," Melissa breathed. "Jack, I think it's laughing." She took a cautious step forward. The predator remained on its back, watching her with what she could now recognize as curiosity rather than hunger. She activated her emitter again, this time with a softer vocalization, one that her research suggested meant something like friend or packmate. The predator responded with its own gentle call, and Melissa noticed something remarkable. The patterns on its scales weren't random, they were forming shapes. Simple shapes, but shapes nonetheless. A circle, a triangle, basic geometric forms that suggested an intelligence far beyond what anyone had theorized. "We've been wrong about them," Melissa said, her voice thick with emotion. "They're not just predators, Jack. They're people. Different from us. Yes, but people." Jack's voice was awed. "Command is going to lose their minds over this." "Let them," Melissa replied, extending her hand toward the creature. "We've got first contact to establish." The young predator reached out with one massive claw and gently, impossibly gently, touched Melissa's gloved hand. Its scales were warm, and through the sensors in her suit, she could feel the rapid beating of its heart in that moment. On a world 300 light-years from Earth, under the light of twin alien suns, two species looked at each other and saw not predator and prey, but possibility. The young one's tail continued to wag.